who fed off of the orgasms of men.
Yes, that was a particularly good one because I think, if I remember rightly, Captain Jack was one of the people she tried to feed off of.
Yes.
Was I right?
Yes.
See, that's what made that episode just so good.
Yes. But yeah, so if you ever want to write like Russell T Davies, all you have to do is involve a lot of sex and have a bunch of people die. Sometimes not in that order. And we actually have a little saying. I have to edit it for the radio, obviously. But Torchwood, if we can't screw it, we'll kill it, and not necessarily in that order.
And we'll give it both a try. Mm.
Yes. But yeah, that's basically what the episodes are. But a lot of people really, really like it. I kind of do. Not for the
Well,
sex, but just because it's got Captain Jack in it.
exactly. Captain Jack makes it sort of okay. But I don't know.
Yes.
I think if you go in thinking that it's going to be a spin-off of Doctor Who, that's a really big mistake. See,
Hmm.
when they put it on TV in Australia, and I'm actually amazed that they did actually put it on TV in Australia because they will never put True Blood on free to wear because it's just that brutal. And Torchwood, you know, it doesn't have the guts and the gore, but it does have the violence. So,
And the sex.
yeah. So I'm a little surprised that it actually made it to Australian TV, but they never ever called it the spin-off of Doctor Who. It was always, hey, look at this new show, Cat and Jack's in it, and that's where all similarities end.
Yes. And it really does. That is very important. So anyone who is looking to get into a new show before Doctor Who starts, do not go into watching Torchwood thinking that it is a spin-off. It may have gotten its start with Doctor Who, but that is where it stopped.
But I suppose, that'd be like people expecting the show that Billie Piper did after she was the Doctor's companion. I think that TV show was Diaries of a Call Girl or something. Okay, the
I think
title
so, yeah.
alone says this is not Doctor Who. So,
Yeah.
but there are 3 series of that one out at the moment, and I can't remember how many seasons of Torchwood are out, but there's quite a few. So
4.
just be warned, if you're looking for a Doctor Who substitute, probably go for Sarah Jane or K9. Don't go for Torchwood.
Yes. Unless, if you're looking, or more specifically, if you're looking for a family-friendly show, definitely go for Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane is absolutely wonderful. I actually watched some of Sarah Jane Adventures, and it was really good. But, what I wanted to tell you, Belinda, is there is controversy going on in the world of Torchwood.
Is there?
There is. As you know, Doctor Who and Torchwood and Sarah Jane and K9, they all got their start in one place, England. They are all predominantly English. America has tried to stick their hands in this particular pot once before, and they did a movie, a Doctor Who movie in 1996, which was a horrible bust. Now, America did not stick their hands into it. Russell T Davies actually sold out and came over to America and sold it basically to one of our local TV station. Well, not local. Sorry, local as in the country, not local as in town or anything.
Yeah.
Stars.
Mm.
And people were like, okay, we kind of don't like this, but all right, we'll get over it. So that was the first one, which not many people minded. They're like, whatever. You have to pay to get stars, but they can show a lot more gruesome sex, so on and so forth. And there was not really necessarily a comma in between gruesome and sex.
And not necessarily in that order. Yeah, anyway.
Yes. If you can't screw it, we'll kill it. Anyway, then the second thing to really tick a lot of people off is they took out, for anyone who has been following Torchwood, you know that the lead characters, Eonto Jones, I don't know their actual names, so they're going by character names. Eonto Jones, Toshiko, and Owen have been killed off. The only ones that are left from the original cast are Gwen Cooper and Captain Jack Harkness. They filled it with a bunch of American characters. So a lot of people were really upset with this, including American fans, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, you don't watch a British show to watch Americans, do you?
Exactly. You don't watch BBC America for a bunch of American shows. You watch it for British shows.
Mm.
But that ticked a lot of people off. Then to add the icing to the cake, not the cherry on top. That one's coming. The icing on the cake is it premieres in America before it premieres in the United Kingdom.
Ooh, okay, yeah, okay. What's the cherry?
The cherry is this. At first, everyone was blaming Stars, but it got so bad that Stars actually came out and did a press release saying that it was not their fault. That's how bad it is. Stars has not taken on a new series. They have not said that they're going to make another series of Torchwood. So people got really mad. They're like, why not? Why aren't you going to sign them on for another season? And they finally came out and said, it's not our decision. Russell T. Davies doesn't want to do it anymore.
You know what I say to that? Get another
What?
writer.
Yeah.
You can't really do much worse, so let's just try something different.
Yes. Well, that's what they did with Doctor Who, and you can see how much he buggered that one up.
I don't know. I can't really tell. I mean, you can tell there are different writers because different writers write differently, which is like duh. But I don't know. It gets a bit crazy.
Well, if you watch Doctor Who, you can... Okay. Like, one of the episodes with David Tennant's Doctor, the 10th Doctor, with the Master. He took the Master and completely redid it. The Master has never once, in the old series, back before it stopped in 1989, has never once been that absolute psycho crazy. The Doctor and the Master have always been kind of rivals, but they were never crazy. And it was more so a game than anything else. But they turned him around and made him crazy, like completely psycho crazy. And then they added the drums. The Doctor in the Revive series hears drums in his head and apparently has heard this all of his life, which is not true. So he just took it and completely rewrote all of Doctor Who. The Doctor is not supposed to fall in love, but he has fallen in love at least twice already.
Exactly. So I don't know. I suppose everybody sees things from a different angle, and a good show is really in the eye of the beholder. So I don't know. You can't please everyone.
No.
But, you piss off the Doctor Who fans, you really, really piss off a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. And some good news before I forget. America has actually topped the UK viewing charts.
Oh, really?
We have more viewers in America now than in the UK.
Wow.
I was like, yes!
Does that mean that there's a lot of UK people in the US? Or does that mean that there was really, really nothing else on that night?
I think it means... No, actually, the fan base is really growing. I heard that at Comic-Con, it recently ended. In Comic-Con, they had like 100,000 people there. And you can watch one of the videos where Matt Smith, current Doctor, and Karen Gillan, current companion, they slip out onto the floor and head over to the BBC America booth. And you can see, like, all around this group that has gathered, there's, like, open floor space and all this. But around the BBC America booth, there are thousands of people surrounding that booth.
Wow. See, all the nerds will unite and we will take over the world.
Yes!
But guess what? On that note,
What?
we have to say Adios to everybody, and we will see you all next week. Can you believe that hour's gone that quick?
Aww.
Aw, I know, doesn't it suck?
We need to get like an hour and a half show.
Yeah, we need to work on that. Okay, so anyway, we'll see you all next week. Thanks for listening in. Bye.
Bye.
And this has been the Friday Ketchup, powered by the ParaQuest Radio Network. Remember to catch the Hostess with No Ghostess every Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the ParaQuest Radio Network.